You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
what will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Ken coming at you. We got Jeff and Neal in the studio. Matt abroad. How you guys doing?
Abroad.
Good.
I'm still in America.
Or two.
Oh, Jesus.
I, for one, am doing amazing
312.
time of recording. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend, which means it's the beginning of footy. Aussie rules just started.
Yeah. If only that was on theme for today.
My team's already lost
by
60. It's not going well over for my Hawthorne Hawks. Well, congrats to my Pies beating the reigning grand final champions. So
as always, go Swans.
But speaking of that, Ken, it's pretty fitting today.
Yeah, in the words of Kath and Kim regarding our guests today, I like what I see. Because to begin, we have Andrew Williams. He's in Sydney by way of Perth. He's an Oakland 5 or Aussie 8.5 supporter due to the conversion rate. What do they have, dollary dues, Matt?
Yeah, $900 dues for this call right now.
And that will be the end of the jokes, we promise, Andrew, and we love having you here. Welcome back.
Thanks very much for having me. And no, please feel free to keep the jokes coming, because I have never heard anyone say they're a fan of the Hawthorne Hawks and then go caw
I asked what team is the most sad sack team, and I decided to root for it. Because I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, so I said, who's the Chicago Cubs of the AFL? And they said Hawthorne.
Wow. Yeah, right now they are. They used to be a dynasty that everyone hated, but now they're a very young underdog team. But it's just amusing having many of their fans are caw not inside.
So, Andrew, remind everyone what you're up to out in Sydney, and anything else you'd like to say.
Sure. I work in public relations. That's boring. But in terms of interesting things, I have a TikTok account. You can do my trivia TikToks at Drew's Clues 23. Last time I spoke to you guys, I think about it on the Patreon episode, I had about 300 followers. We're now over 10,000. So just keep at it. And you too can be not particularly viral.
And I will speak to Drew's Clues, because I see them all the time on my TikTok feed, and I play them quite often. They're really great. So if you have a chance, check them out if you're on TikTok or secretly on TikTok, whatever it may be.
Thank you very much. My TikTok only shows me videos of Meghan Trainor for reasons I cannot understand, because she's my least favorite singer.
It just knows what you're into.
It's just like, you like Meghan Trainor. We know you do, and we're going to keep showing you until you realize it.
Well, we're having some great questions coming in from Andrew today. We expect, but we need another person to play the game, and today that will be the Rules Guy Impersonator, or as Neal has typed it out on the computer, the Ruly Guy Impersonator.
I thought maybe he changed it to Rules Gal.
Stephanie Santoni from Houston, Texas. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here, y'all.
Yeah, please tell us a little bit about yourself, other than the fact that you couldn't decide which one of us you loved the most while you were getting your character box.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not going to pick favorites. I'm originally from Las Vegas, living in Houston now with my husband and our dog, Oliver. And I oversee psychiatric hospitals for a living, so not a lot of sleep.
Well, we are excited to get into today's game. You're going to be teaming up with Matt today. So first of all, I'm having a wonderful Pamplemousse sparkling water here by one of our favorite sparkling water brands that we won't name, but you know which one it is. And Jeff said, or the Canadian version, the Pampered Moose.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be the Pampered Moose, and then immediately Stephanie came up with her team name. She didn't even think about it. What is that, Stephanie?
I just Puma Pants.
I Puma Pants. I Puma Pants. So another animal pun. but we're excited to get going today. First, we got to get the rules. Let's have it.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I just realized, do we have an Australian rules read? I don't think we do.
You're going to have to fix that.
I know.
I don't think so.
Maybe Andrew
I'll do
will
one for you
grace
if
us
you
with
want
his pipes. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I'm happy to do you an Australian rules read.
We'd much rather have you than Ken's dear friend Brian Johnson, so...
Wait. The rules of the game. That'd be hard to listen to.
You got to get that one, though. Let's see if he's available on Cameo. Anywho, it's going to be me and Neal versus Matt and Stephanie. Shall we dig in?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Okay, so because I don't do anything simply, this quiz will be a little bit different. It'll still be as the rules read explained, but each question is going to have 2 answers, not one. So there will be 2 answers for each question, and those answers will rhyme with each other. So you need to get both right to get the points. There's no half points for getting one. You always need to get both. So there will be 2 clues, sort of Jeopardy-style clues. Not in the form of a question. You don't need to answer in the form of a question, anything. But yes, there'll be 2 answers, and you need to get both answers correct in order to get the points. But obviously, to help you, they're going to rhyme. So here is question number 1. The city of Sydney, the beautiful, if humid city of Sydney, where I am, is located in this Australian state, and the miller, the squire, and the summoner all have one of 24 stories in this 14th century work of literature.
All right, we are locked in. I got the literature one. Neal got the Australian state, and that says all you need to know about me and Neal. So
perfect teamwork.
We could start naming states, I suppose.
Starting with is
New South Wales.
I think that might be where it is. It's in the south, Sydney, and then it's on the east coast, I believe. I think he said that at the beginning. New South Wales, and then what would that rhyme with?
Canterbury Tales?
Then yeah, New South Wales and the Canterbury Tales. That sounds right.
We had Canterbury Tales and
New South Wales.
4 points both teams. Very well done.
All right.
The answer is New South Wales and the Canterbury Tales. So
the ultimate teamwork.
Yeah, it's why I like this particular format, because you can sometimes one of you will have one half and the other will have as worked out exactly there. All right, question number 2. This movie musical contains the songs Come Alive and Tightrope, and this serif typeface was conceived by Stanley Thompson in 1932.
So you said not a big musical person. I believe these are from The Greatest Showman, which would rhyme with everyone's favorite font.
Times New Roman.
Times New Roman. Yeah. Comic Sans.
Serif typeface is Ken.
Yes. So Times New Roman and The Greatest Showman.
Well, we also had Times New Roman and
The Greatest Showman.
And 4 points to both teams. Very well done. Yes, Come Alive and Tightrope were probably the 2 least popular songs in many ways from that musical. And yeah, this Times New Roman was commissioned by the Times newspaper in 1932. So, question number 3. This was the subtitle to the film Sister Act 2, and this was the children's book gifted to Kathy by Chandler on behalf of Joey in Friends.
Why did I think that it was initially Dead and Loving It? I don't think that was Sister Act.
All right, we're locked in with both answers.
How much Sister Act were you watching in the 90s and 2000s?
Well, I mean, Lauryn Hill was in Sister Act too, so that was big.
I did not know that.
But I can't... What?
I didn't know that. I haven't seen it.
Part.
I do know.
She solos.
I do know that it is Back in the Habit.
I didn't know she got her
It
education
is
in the convent.
Back in the Habit. That's right.
And then I think we're looking for a children's book, I assume.
Something Rabbit.
There's not much else. So it's like Here Comes Peter Rabbit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can lock in with Here Comes Peter Rabbit and Back in the Habit.
No, I think you're confusing Peter Rabbit with
Peter Cottontail.
Peter Cottontail.
There's too
Totally
many Peter
different
Rabbits. Too many.
No, but, no, we'll say Peter Rabbit and Back in the Habit.
Unfortunately, no points to either team there. You got the wrong rabbit. It's Back in the Habit, and the Velveteen Rabbit is the book.
Oh, that's right.
Velveteen.
That's given to Kathy because it was her favourite children's book in season 4 of Friends, as everyone remembers as well as I do.
Is that a rabbit made of cheese?
That is the Velveeta rabbit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You're thinking of Camembert Rabbit. Okay. Question number 4. This is Wolfgang Mozart's middle name. And this is a major song in Planet of the Apes the Musical from a classic episode of The Simpsons.
Love it. We're in.
It should also be, sorry, Matt, I just wanted to note that I have never seen an episode of The Simpsons. I know nothing about it. So the fact that I was able to get a Simpsons question in is remarkable.
Do you know this offhand?
Is it Amadeus?
Amadeus is the middle name, and sung to the tune of Amadeus by Falco, I believe it is.
It is
Dr.
Falco.
Seuss.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
that is what it is.
Yeah, we said Amadeus and Dr. Zayas.
Oh.
That is correct.
Dr. Zayas.
I went back and watched that clip, and I was like, "Oh, this Simpsons show is good." Full points to both teams.
It was the breakdancing monkey that sold it for you.
Yeah. I should
If you watch
get
one
into
episode,
this.
You should watch the Australia episode.
It just had recently gotten there, so.
Yeah, just made
live.
it. Just got shipped. That caused a massive stink in Australia. That episode, Australians were.
Did it?
Yeah,
They did
deep.
not like the booting.
Too funny?
The booting was not appreciated by the Australians.
Yeah, and the whole time I didn't understand what was going on. People seemed upset about a cartoon. That's all I knew. Well done. Full points to both teams. Question number 5. I'm very sorry, Stephanie. This musical by the late and incredibly great Stephen Sondheim features the songs Joanna and Not While I'm Around. And this is a famous goal scored in the quarterfinals of the 1986 FIFA World Cup by Diego Maradona, which he said was scored a little with the head of Maradona and a little with what?
This one somehow ended up in my wheelhouse.
Oh, great.
I feel you, Matt.
I believe Andy Bernard sings this in the Office rendition of Sweeney Todd, I believe is the musical. And then the goal is the hand of God because he got away with a handball.
We said Sweeney Todd and Hand of God.
Very well done, both teams. Going along very nicely.
Turns out if you make me rhyme something, I can come up with the answer to a sports question.
Both teams are doing really well, and they are hitting their marks. Both teams with 40 points to start this game. So, well done. Good start.
And I am a gigantic musical theatre fan, but I think that's it, Stephanie. So
Please,
I think you're safe
thank
for the
you.
rest. I think I might prove myself wrong. All right, question number 6. This director's films include Noah and the Whale. Different films, not the band. And this composer exchanged over 1,200 letters with Nadezhda von Meck between 1877 and 1890, but only met her once by accident.
I think we're good, right?
I think so.
Darren Aronofsky, right? Does that sound right? It came up. It was all over
But not Noah.
I don't know what Noah is. Noah's
Isn't
Ark?
that
Was
the
that the
flop?
one with...
Yeah, that's the
I don't
flop
think
with
that-
Russell Crowe.
No, it's Steve Carell. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a
No,
different
that-
movie.
That's Heaven
It's like
Almighty.
Bruce
I'll
Almighty or
let you
something.
know that Noah was extremely out of character
Okay.
for said film director.
And then we're looking for an 18th century composer. My only thinking
You're a
with
19th century composer.
19th century. So my only thinking with Aronofsky is it does rhyme with Tchaikovsky or Tchaikovsky. I don't know. I'm really bad at saying things.
As we learned on episode whatever, your Russian isn't it.
As we learned on every episode I've ever recorded. I'm not good at saying things. That was my thinking there. Did you have anything different?
No.
No.
I don't have anything else, so you can roll with this one.
Yep. Aronofsky and Tchaikovsky.
All right. Interesting pronunciations, but
hey, if
I
you
think
say
we're
it
gonna
enough
give
times,
it
it sounds weird.
For Aronofsky and Tchaikovsky.
It is Aronofsky and Tchaikovsky. Yes, that's right. Yes, Noah was for Darren Aronofsky was a surprisingly kind of straight down the line kind of religious film. So it definitely was out of character for him. But yeah, so he made Noah and the Whale, and Tchaikovsky was supported by Von Meck for. Artistically supported by her for years, but she said she never wanted to meet him because she feared that he would never live up to her expectations. So that's why they never met.
Then after Noah, he's like, you know what? I'm going to make a movie called Mother. It's going to be the craziest you've ever seen.
Question number 7. This actor is the only person to be nominated for an Emmy for his role as the same character on 3 different shows. And this performer's real name is Stanley Kirk Burrell.
Just a guess, because it's rhyming. Kelsey Grammer and MC Hammer.
Kelsey Grammer and MC Hammer. I think that makes sense because it would be Frasier on Cheers, Frasier, and then I think on maybe The Simpsons or something else when he played that character. And then MC Hammer. It rhymes.
It's MC Hammer.
And it's Hammer time. Yeah, I love it. We're going to lock in Kelsey Grammer and MC Hammer.
Yeah, we said the same thing. We said MC Hammer, and you're looking for Wings as the other one he won the
I always want to say Jag, but it is Wings.
Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer on
Jag was ever nominated for any of these.
On Jag.
We need to
You're
send
out
this.
Of line.
we need to send this culprit to the psychiatrist. Off you go, Dr. Fraser Crane.
What kind of military base doesn't have any sherry?
That is correct. It is Kelsey Grammer and MC Hammer. And yes, Wings, Frasier, and Cheers, spot on the money. MC Hammer is Stanley Kirk Burrell. Question number 8. This song features the lyric gunpowder, gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam. And this is the 3rd most popular city in Scotland.
Well, we are locked in on this one. Feeling pretty good. So what do you guys have?
Ooh.
Before this question, could you name a 3rd Scottish city?
I can't.
If
I
asked.
could barely name 2. But giving me the rhyme certainly helps.
I would say maybe Aberdeen is the 3rd city.
Okay. Well, that's good because it rhymes with Killer Queen, which I believe is the name of the song.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen and Killer Queen.
Killer Queen, Aberdeen.
Very well done. It is Killer Queen and Aberdeen. Nice job, both teams. Okay, question number 9. The first compilation album by this band was released in 2007 and called Exile on Mainstream. And in the board game Catan, this card allows you to take any 2 resources from the bank.
Sadly, we're going to have to tap out on this one. We thought about it for a minute, and I've just forgotten too much about Catan to force this rhyme. So passing it to you guys.
Yeah. How many settlements have you made in Catan?
0.
Okay, good. We're on the same foot there. Now, if I'm correct, I think that the band is one that is quickly replacing a recreational culinary band as the most referenced band in Triviality. I think it's Matchbox 20, and because this band keeps coming up like 4 episodes in a row. But I think it is Matchbox 20, but I don't know what rhymes with 20 that would be in this game. Go and take plenty, or...
I know. I was thinking of maybe how he would pronounce 20. Trying to get it there.
Yeah.
Properly is how.
Matchbox
well, that's
20,
doubtful.
influx of money.
So we have Matchbox 20 and then probably something with plenty, right? Resources aplenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, match.
That's
That's where we're at.
it's a logical sense.
Yeah.
Do that.
We're doing Matchbox 20. It's a resources aplenty.
In my world, 20 does not rhyme with plenty, but by many pronunciations it would. If you pronounce it properly, I would suppose. 20, plenty.
Would you also say plenty? If you were going to say 20?
Plenty?
Plenty.
I say 20.
20 and plenty.
Not 20. So what's the answer? We have no idea.
The answer is Matchbox 20 and Year of Plenty. You are very, very close.
Never would have gotten there.
Yeah. Year of Plenty allows you to take 2 resources in the bank in the game of Catan, which if you haven't played it, I feel like you're mostly lucky because it is one of the great friend-loser board games in history.
I won't.
I do that all on my own.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not as bad as a lot of older board games, like Ken and my great Battleship feud of 2003.
So we'll call that.
I don't know if you can see behind me, but that's I've got a big board game collection, and there's a board game table sitting behind me. So
yeah, it's awesome.
I will warn you in advance that it's not going to be the end of the board game questions as we go along. All right. This is the final question of round 1, and I think it's the hardest question in the quiz. So if you get this, I'll be super impressed, and you'll have 10 bonus points in my heart, but not in real life. This 2006 war drama film, directed by Ken Loach, is set during the Irish War of Independence and follows 2 brothers. And this man was the 6th Secretary General of the United Nations between 1992 and 1996.
I think I know the movie, but I don't think it's going to help us get the...
What's the movie?
I think it's The Wind That Shakes the The Wind That Shakes the Barley? The Wind That something Barley.
All right, we're going to go with The Wind That Shakes the Barley and Chris Farley. What do you guys have?
Well, I'm glad that they said The Wind That Shakes the Barley, because that's what we were both thinking, right, Stephanie?
Obviously. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
100%. Now, I'm sure you were keeping up on your UN news in 1992. Do you recall this person at all?
No, I think it was Chris Farley as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
It has to be 100%.
Peak SNL days, yeah.
Yeah, he was working 2 jobs, hardest working man in Hollywood. That's why they called him that. So yeah, Chris Farley, and the name of the movie that Neal said.
And now Andrew says that is correct.
Unfortunately, Chris Farley only ever got to Assistant Secretary General, so he doesn't qualify as an answer. No, this is, if you were to say to me, UN Secretary General, this is the first name I would say back to you because it's fun to say. It is The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Well done, Neal. And Boutros Ghali is the Secretary General of the United Nations. So we were looking for The Wind That Shakes the Barley and Boutros Ghali, and if you got that at home, very well done.
Now, Andrew, what happens if you say that name into the mirror 3 times?
The entire United Nations appears behind you.
Indeed. So teams doing just a little bit poorer overall in the second half, only adding 30 each to their scores, but
how dare us?
Still staying dead even, 70-70. So wide open.
We're going to throw it over to Andrew for the swing round. Just wanted to say thank you to Andrew and Stephanie for being Patreon supporters. If you'd like to join them in helping support our show, letting us upgrade our equipment, and just keeping us afloat, basically, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, where you can get some main feed episodes ad-free, some bonus audio content, and if you're Stephanie, you get a special box that we will still not name because it's in transit right now. We don't want to ruin the surprise, but you get a cool character box that one of us will put together for you. So go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcasts and help support the show. And speaking of that, Stephanie, thank you for joining Patreon. Was it the bad jokes? Was it the episode name titles? What was it that made you finally say, you know what, I'm going to support these goofballs?
Short-time listener. I think I started in November, maybe. And then I think and I think I'm already on the 200s, somewhere around there. But yeah, it was just after a month, I was like, okay, I just need to support these guys because I'm listening to it for hours a day in the car traveling. So it's worth it.
We certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, that's very generous.
More content on Patreon too. So
yeah, and we just hope that Oliver also listens to the show.
He absolutely does. And he cringes just like I do. So.
Yeah, Oliver is the dog. Well, thank you, Stephanie. And as we know, Andrew, we pay you a check in order to support us. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, the immense clout that I have has helped you no end, I'm sure.
Oh, no, it's always helpful. But speaking of you and helping us, what is the swing round today?
The swing round is a game that I have run with my friends a few times. It's a little bit tense. It's called Tick, Tick, Boom. So what's going to happen is you're going to play this in rounds. So there's going to be 3 questions for each team. I'm going to give you 6 categories, and then you get to pick a category. You're even. So let's say Matt and Stephanie, you can pick a category first. And then what will happen is I will give you a category and 6 answers that are within that category. 4 of them will be right. 2 of them will be wrong. You need to pick as many correct ones as possible without selecting any of the incorrect ones. So it's sort of like trivia minesweeper or bomb disposal, or trivia hurt locker. That should be a popular format. So I'm going to give you 6 answers. If you pick 1 correct, you'll get 1 point. If you pick 2 correct, you'll get another 2 points for 3. 3 correct, 3 points. 4 correct, 4 points. So there are 10 points on offer in each question. However, if at any point you stop, you are welcome to stop at any time if you're not confident about the future answers, or you select an incorrect answer, then the other team will get 2 points for every correct answer you left on the board. You get to bank your points. So if you get to 3 and you stop, you'll get 6 points. But if you get to 3 and then you select 1 more and you get 1 wrong, you lose all those points. So you've got to be very careful about when to keep going and when to stop. Does that all make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to be clear, basically, you could be asking who are the hosts of Triviality, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Bartholomew. We just don't want to choose Bartholomew.
That's fair because nobody likes him. Okay, so I'll give you 6 answers, and then you can discuss which ones you do. The 6 categories you have on offer here are history, geography, sport, TV and film, music, and board games.
Let's go with geography.
Okay. Geography, your category is capital cities of Australian states and territories.
Why'd you do that?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Terrible choice, Matt.
Why'd you let me pick?
Your answers are Hobart, Darwin, Canberra, Adelaide, Fremantle, Auckland.
So we'll say Adelaide.
That is correct. For 1
Fremantle
point. Is incorrect, I'm afraid.
Oh,
You've
no.
blown yourself up for 0 points, and 6 points go to the other team. So Fremantle is not a capital city of any Australian state or territory. It's in Western Australia, but it is the 2nd most populous city in Western Australia. The other ones are Canberra, which is... Oh, does the other team want to... I think you pretty much had them, but Canberra is definitely one, as you said, and Darwin is definitely one, as you said, and the other one is Hobart.
I know Hobart is one, and I think Auckland is the incorrect one.
Yeah, so the 2 incorrect ones are Fremantle and Auckland, WA and New Zealand respectively, and then Hobart is the capital of Tasmania, Darwin is the capital of the Northern Territory, Canberra is the capital of both the Australian Capital Territory and Australia in general, because we couldn't decide whether it should be Sydney or Melbourne, so we just split the difference, put it in Canberra, and Adelaide is the capital of South Australia. So unfortunately, no points there. AFL steered you in the incorrect direction. I apologise. So 6 points to the other team, and now you get to pick a category.
TV film? That's what I thought.
Okay, TV and film. I'm looking for movies for which Jim Carrey was nominated for a Best Actor Golden Globe. So 4 of these are movies for which he was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor, and 2 are not. Your answers are The Truman Show, The Majestic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Man on the Moon, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Mr. Popper's Penguins.
All right, so we're going to start out with Man on the Moon.
Tick. I forgot to do my catchphrase last time. Yep, tick.
All right. Neal is confident that Truman Show is one of them.
Tick for 3 points.
You want to say Eternal or you want to stop?
Up to you. I'm fine with either way.
We'll say Eternal.
Tick. That's 6 points.
And I think we'll stop there.
Banking 6?
I think it's the Grinch, but we'll stop there, though.
You're banking 6? Okay.
Yes.
6 points for you and 2 points for the other team because you did leave one answer on the board. The other one he got a nomination for was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I guess then we'll go sports or sporting or whatever it was.
He just called it singular sport.
Sport.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Sport. Yeah.
Again, I got a bone to pick. You say maths because there's multiple, but then you say sport. Like there's only one.
No, hang on. I said sport. I don't say sport. I often do say sports. Just happen to have said sport in this instance.
Let's have a sport. One sport, please.
The word has lost all meaning. Sorry, any of the last 4 men to win a tennis major who aren't Djokovic, Murray, Federer, or Nadal, going back to 2015. So 4 of these are the last 4 people who aren't any of the big 4 to win a tennis major since 2015, and 2 of them are not. We have Carlos Alcaraz, Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Alexander Zverev, Dominic Thiem, and Stan Wawrinka.
So you seemed more confident in at least one of those. Which one were you pretty confident in?
Alcaraz.
So we're going to say Alcaraz is our first one.
That is correct. Tick.
And then Velveeta?
No.
I think that's a Coldplay song.
Wawrinka. Yeah, Wawrinka is our second one.
That is correct. To bring you to 3.
And
Tick.
And then Medvedev.
Medvedev. Tick. Tick. To bring you to 6.
And I'm not even going to be able to pronounce another name. Or were you thinking of one more?
I would guess the Zverev, but I think we should not. I think we should bank.
I think we are going to bank the 3 we got because we are not playing it risky right now.
Very good. So you got 6 points and 2 points to the other team. Does team in the studio, do you want to guess who the winner is?
No, thank you.
Okay. It is...
Is it Tsitsipas?
No, it's Dominic Thiem. However you pronounce his last name. He has the shortest and most difficult to pronounce last name. So you played it perfectly. Banked exactly when you should. 6 points for your team. Well done. Ken and Neal. What category would you like? You have history, music, and board games left on the board.
We will take history, please.
All I'm looking for here is anyone who is at any time Vice President of the United States of America. We have Nelson Rockefeller, Walter Mondale, Adlai Stevenson I, Adlai Stevenson II, Chester Arthur, and James Launceston.
All right, we're going to start with Chester A. Arthur. Shirley took over after Garfield's assassination.
Tick for 1 point.
We're going to say Walter Mondale, famously failed presidential run.
And he was also vice president, so tick 3 points.
Is he the one on the tank?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wasn't that Dukakis?
Dukakis.
Oh, sorry.
Dukakis,
Dukakis.
yeah.
Let's go one more, and we'll say Stevenson?
Adelaide Stevenson?
Yeah, Stevenson.
The first or the second?
Actually, we'll say the first.
Tick.
All right, we're out because that last one was a guess.
Banking, that's fair. The other team, do you know who the other vice president on that list is?
No.
It's Rockefeller.
Nelson Rockefeller, yeah.
Under Ford.
That's what I was
last 2 years of Ford, right, Jeff, I think?
I believe that is correct.
Yeah. The other 2 were... So Adlai Stevenson II was a presidential candidate, never vice president. He lost to Eisenhower twice on the trot. And James Launceston is a made-up person, because I saw that there was someone called Garrett Hobart. Hobart is a city in Tasmania. Launceston is also a city in Tasmania, so I just made that person up. So the most tension of the entire game now will come on this decision for Matt and Stephanie between music and board games. Which one are you going with?
Which Neal said he feared the board game category. I'm not so sure about
Fear the board game.
So I think we can go music.
For music, your category is any song that won Grammy Song of the Year. Your 6 options are This Is America by Childish Gambino, Stay With Me by Sam Smith, You're Beautiful by James Blunt, Daughters by John Mayer, Dance With My Father by Luther Vandross, or Play That Song by Train.
All right. We did Dance With My Father. first one.
Tick for 1 point.
We did Stay With Me.
Tick for 3 points.
And The Horrific Man John Mayer for Daughters.
Tick and tick for 6 points.
Yeah.
And then we are going to...
Do you want to guess with that one or you want to bank?
Let's bank.
And the other two, it was This Is America by Childish Gambino. By far, I would say the best song on that list by some margin. And one in 2019, Bad Guy, one in 2020. The other red herring was You're Beautiful by James Blunt. And so now, the moment you've all been waiting for, board games.
All right, let's have it.
I'm looking for anything that is in the website Board Game Geek, which is sort of the Bible for all things board games and board game ratings in particular. They have a Board Game Geek Top 100, which ranks the most popular board games and highly rated board games of all time. I'm looking for any of these board games that are in the top 10 of that list. Brass Birmingham, Gloomhaven, Monopoly, Terraforming Mars, Nemesis, Twilight Imperium, 4th edition.
Let's say Gloomhaven.
That was my first guess because we saw that one of our other past hosts had Gloomhaven or was talking about it and it seemed pretty popular.
Tick. It's my favorite game of all time. It's unbelievable.
Let's say Terraforming Mars due to the relation.
Tick for 3 points.
So let's take the 50-50 guess. Let's do the vampire one. Sparkly Vampires Twilight.
Okay.
Tick for 6 points. Well done. Good gamble.
Should we keep going? I'm feeling good. Let's roll the dice.
Let's do it.
Nemesis.
Boom. So 2 points.
I don't have any money to gamble right now, so I gotta get my jolly somehow.
So you get nothing, right?
You get nothing there, and the other team gets 2 points, unfortunately. Icarus. And the other one, so Nemesis is on the list, but it's much further down. It's sort of in the 50s. And Monopoly would be seen nowhere near a Board Game Geek list because it's, yes, as Jeff said, demonstrably terrible.
So it was Brass Birmingham?
Brass Birmingham, or Brass Birmingham as I would normally say it, but got confused by your accent. Brass Birmingham was the other one on the list, which I think actually there's a big thing in the board game community because they're crossing over each other and there's like a battle for top spot. It's like
my favorite Beastie Boys song, Brass Monkey.
Exactly. Yeah, Monopoly is so bad that my parents almost asked to be emancipated from me.
Just for owning it.
Just for playing with them.
Jeff, I hope you kept the scores there because I did not.
I did indeed. Yep. All right. So there is a little bit of separation coming out of the swing round, but it is not much, but 4 points. So Puma Pants added.
I almost forgot.
Yeah. So Puma Pants added 18 points to their score to bring it up to 88. And the Papered Moose added 22, so they're at 92. Very close game.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break for station identification. That's a joke, but we'll be right back.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
what will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
And we are back with the second round. So jump right in when you're ready, Andrew.
Okay, so we're back into our rhyming work now. This is your first question of the second round, question number 11. After leaving Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May went on to host this show for Amazon Prime, for which they were paid an enormous amount of money. And this person won season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I didn't care about Top Gear, but I do watch. I have NBA League Pass, so I have to scroll through Amazon Prime quite a bit. And this show did come up. it's called the Grand Tour. So we're looking for something that rhymes with tour or tour or however people pronounce it. But so thinking about drag names that would rhyme with that, you got Ma Newer, maybe. Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm claiming Ma Newer as my new drag name.
Excellent.
You know who loves Ma Newer? Marissa Tomei.
Oh. You got Ma and you got Newer.
Couture.
Couture. Yeah, Miss Couture. Yeah. You want to go with that?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to lock in with the Grand Tour and Miss Couture.
Yep, I wrote down the World Tour for some reason, and Ken thankfully corrected me and put the Grand Tour, and it made me think of the Drag Race winner, Sasha Velour. That's what we locked in with.
Velour.
That is correct. It is the Grand Tour and Sasha Velour. Although Matt's answer did make me think of the UFC fighter Randy Couture. And if he had won season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race, it would have been an upset, to say the least. But yes, the Grand Tour and Sasha Velour. That is exactly right. Well done. Question number.
They haven't done a celebrity drag race yet, have they?
They should, though.
Also an easy way to find out which celebrities are bigots, right?
Whoever doesn't want to do it.
Who doesn't want to do it?
Just because you don't want to do it.
Just because you don't want to bigot.
Whole lot of mysterious schedule clashes.
Here are all the people that we asked who said no
I'm
way.
not a bigot. I just didn't want to do it. I'm not interested.
I'm allergic to makeup. Bigot.
I'm not coordinated.
Bigot.
Sad this is getting cut.
Yeah, too bad.
That's okay.
That's a shame. Because which celebrity is a bigot is also a very good idea for a reality show.
I would like to call it Can You Bigot?
Are you more bigoted than a fifth grader?
Bigot?
Behind this door, we have Roman Polanski.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, yeah.
He's the
Who's
host.
shooting through the extra door?
I'm your
Alec
host,
Baldwin.
Greg Probst. Can you bigot?
And then Kramer waltzes in.
I can bigot, you can bigot, he can bigot, she can bigot.
They get all celebrities that have famously been burned.
Oh yeah,
Like
and then the winner
public
gets their
relations?
PR stuff just wiped clean.
It's a new start.
Question 2. In round 2, in the film Toy Story, Woody describes Buzz Lightyear's flying as this. And this international unit of measurement is defined as exactly 1,852 meters.
I believe it's Falling with Style. And then...
So nautical mile?
And that rhymes with nautical mile. Kind of. Depending on how you say it. This show has made me very self-conscious about the way I pronounce everything, just so you guys know.
We said Falling with Style and Nautical Mile.
Full points both teams. Very nicely done. Yes, Falling with Style and a nautical mile. 1,852 meters. Question number 3. The epic of this ancient Mesopotamian hero is largely regarded as a foundational work in literature and religion. And this country is the most populous in the world to have never won an Olympic medal.
Well, I was wondering about the story. I don't know about the hero, but I was wondering if the story's like the Rubaiyat or something like that. I'm not sure.
I think of the countries, there's like, I think Bangladesh is one of them.
Oh,
And then
Gilgamesh.
that potentially rhymes with Gilgamesh. And that's,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's one that rhymes with Sri Lanka. Or any other countries. So we can go with Gilgamesh and Bangladesh.
Well reasoned, we said Gilgamesh and Bangladesh.
That is correct. Very well done. Gilgamesh and Bangladesh. One of my alternates was the wrestler Tatanka and Sri Lanka, but I couldn't make it work. Very well done. Gilgamesh and Bangladesh. Nice history and geography for you there. Number 4. In the film Pulp Fiction, Mia Wallace and Vincent Vega danced to this Chuck Berry classic. And this was John Bradshaw Layfield's finishing move in the WWE.
All right, Ken and I can hear the song from Pulp Fiction, and I can see the finishing move from JBL, but we cannot, for the life of us, come up with a name, so we're going to tap.
The finishing move is the Clothesline from Hell. But I don't know a song from that movie that would rhyme with that.
I'm trying to rhyme hell with everything in my head, and it's not working.
Yeah. I have no idea. So it looks like we've on the receiving end of the Clothesline from Hell, because we do not know this song. And
all right.
Part of me is now wishing they'd dance that song to Taylor Swift's 10-minute All Too Well. It would have been a very different, very, very long scene in the middle of Pulp Fiction. It is You Never Can Tell and Clothesline from Hell. That's Chuck Berry's You Never Can Tell is the song in that scene. Okay, and the final question for the first half of round 2. This trace mineral has the atomic number 25 on the periodic table. And this is what Nicolas Cage famously screams in a viral clip from the remake of The Wicker Man.
All right, we got it.
Not the bees. The bees.
Just like that, he did it.
Not the
And
bees.
if he was screaming about a trace element, what would he scream?
Manganese.
There you go. Not the bees and manganese.
Are you both going with manganese, not the bees?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both correct for 10 points, both teams. Yeah, that's right. Manganese and not the bees. Oh, no.
That was my favorite question of the game.
All right, both teams adding to their scores quite nicely in the first half of the second round, but just eking out a little bit of an advantage would be the Pampered Moose with their lead of 132 over Puma Pants, 118.
Very good. Okay, second half of round 2. This city was the subject of a handover from the British Empire to China on the 1st of July 1997. And this was a chart-topping single in many countries for Cisco in the year 2000.
I got it.
Take it back. This is the best one. Yeah.
So we got Hong Kong, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, Hong Kong. That's right.
When China said,
And,
let
thong,
me
thong,
see
thong,
Hong
thong.
Kong.
I presume you had the same?
Yes.
Official answers for both teams, if I could.
Hong Kong and Thong Song.
Hong Kong.
I just want to hear Matt and Stephanie say it, yeah.
And thong.
Thong song.
I like the way the money flows.
It is Hong Kong Thong Song. Well done. Very good. Question 17.
Volleyball teams could connect the dots.
I like it. This 12-letter word means to be able to perceive or see the future. And this 11-letter word is a common collective noun for a group of flamingos.
So, is it clairvoyance?
I'm pretty sure because this came up. I forget where this came up. Maybe it was a New York Times crossword puzzle I did. But it is a flamboyance.
Buoyance, yeah.
We agree. We think it's clairvoyant, flamboyant.
Yeah, clairvoyance, flamboyance, or clairvoyant, flamboyant is fine as well. A flamboyance of flamingos, my favourite collective noun. I did have a vague memory in my head that there was a character in something called clairvoyance. And so I went back and looked up who it was, and apparently I can't imagine I ever heard of this. Clairvoyance is a character that appears in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. And I read her wiki, and it says she was an anthropomorphic howler monkey and was the psychic op of the Diamond Cutters. She was betrayed by their infiltrator Mimic and killed by shadow androids. And I was like, good lord, what is going on in the Sonic the Hedgehog
It's very dark.
comic series? It's much more violent.
Maybe. I don't know.
I like there's murder in Sonic, though. It's crazy.
Don't remember that much murder.
Another Jim Carrey classic.
Question number 18. This English electronica band released the songs If You Leave and Enola Gay. Mm-hmm. And this satirical Tom Lehrer song features the lyric, when they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide.
Well, so If You Leave is from The Breakfast Club. It's in a bunch. No, which one is it from?
Close.
Neil was
Close.
so fast on that.
Pretty in Pink, maybe. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. You got it.
Well, okay.
Neil was waiting in the tall grass for you there, Matt.
Pretty in Pink. You're right.
I have no idea the band. It's in the era where everyone sounded like The Cure, but it's not The Cure. So it seems like we don't really have an answer. So, we're just gonna have to unfortunately tap out.
All right. Neil came up with orchestral moves in the dark.
Orchestral maneuvers in the dark.
That's
and you're telling me, Matt, you've never kissed a picture of Andrew McCarthy to this song, just like in Pretty in Pink?
Not recently.
Okay.
And I said maybe the other song's called Afternoon in the Park.
You are very close.
Saturday
Jeff, do you want to give the answer?
As we murder them all with laughter and merriment, we are poisoning pigeons in the park.
Okay.
Yeah, it is orchestral maneuvers in the dark and poisoning pigeons in the park is the answer to that one. Question number 19. This was the subtitle to the second in PlayStation's Horizon series of video games. And this 1996 novel was described by critics as a profound study of the postmodern condition and bloated, boring, and gratuitous.
We think we're hot on the tail of something here, but we can't put it together. So we're going to have to tap.
So the video game is Horizon Forbidden West, I believe. Words that rhyme with West. So you got best, test, jest. Is that John Leguizamo's The Pest?
Yes. Or Big Puffy Vest.
Big Puffy Vest.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
Are y'all out? Out of steam?
I think so, yeah. Big Puffy Vest and Forbidden West.
All right, you guys said jest.
Not big fans of David Foster Wallace, apparently.
I think it's Infinite Jest, but we couldn't put it together. I could only get as far as Zero Dawn for the subtitle, so I think you got it.
It is Forbidden West and Infinite Jest. You were so close, Matt. You said jest and you just moved on.
I don't know many
but yeah, Forbidden West, Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, which was covered in the movie The End of the Tour, which Neil was talking about with Jason Segel.
That stinks too, because I think Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Who rest in peace? He just passed.
He just passed, but he was in that sequel, and I actually read that title the other day, and I just couldn't recall it.
Maryland.
Yeah, he's in both of them. Okay, your final question in regulation. She still believes in miracles while others cry in vain is a lyric from which 1993 song? And who sang it?
It's not Can You Feel the Love?
I know. I just I was trying to figure out where that tone was. Yes, yeah, that's what it is.
Still believes in miracles.
No matter what
But can't you be the king I know you are?
Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John, who is
King
not.
is inside. All right, so Neil was trying to sing the song to the tune of Can You Feel the Love Tonight? So I think we're not close, so we're going to tap.
Yeah. We got Sitting by the Dock of the Bay by Dr. Dre.
A valiant effort. If I told you that Neil was close-ish, but it was when he said Bruce Springsteen, but just a little bit worse.
John Mellencamp.
Oh, no, I would say that's a lot worse.
That's where you went with that.
No, if I told you it was Billy Joel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it
Down
was Billy
in a
Joel.
Hole.
It's
Billy Joel.
It's All About Soul by Billy Joel. All About Soul by Billy Joel.
Shovel and
Alice in
Coal.
Chains song? Down
in a hole. I'm Billy Joel.
Still stuck in this hole.
I think his car definitely went down in a hole one time.
Okay, and that's the end of regulation.
Driver William Joel. Grunge Billy Joel. All right, going into the final, teams are going to have quite a bit of points to wager. Puma Pants has 138 points, but just slightly ahead of them with a lead of 14 is the Pampered Moose at 152.
Very good. Okay. Here are your final round categories. They are 57 Channels and Nothing On, Cover Me, Roll of the Dice, The Ghost of Tom Joad, and Wrecking Ball.
All the wagers are locked in. Our team over here at the Pampered Moose is going 30s all the way down, and Puma Pants 15s all the way down. Not feeling as confident, but we'll see if that smaller wager pays off and we destroy ourselves, Neal.
As a quick thought experiment, if you put pants on a puma, do you think it could poop its pants?
I think it would.
Okay.
I think it would destroy those pants.
Rip right through
it's not a matter of could, it's will.
If you put pants on a puma, would it be this way or this way?
It really gives a whole new meaning to tear off.
If any patrons work in the wildlife field, please get a pair of Janko pants.
Yes,
and
and
put them on a
torture
puma.
an animal by putting them on.
Janko, they're just gonna fall out the bottom. You want something snug.
This wallet chain will get everywhere.
Puma leggings. That's what you want. Puma leggings.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. A nice jogger.
It's going to be Puma, the athletic wear company's
I'm
new
definitely
promotion.
photoshopping a Puma, like a
Puma's on a
Fabletics
Puma.
ad for the cover of this one. Right?
If it makes the cut. There you go. All right, what are our questions here?
Okay. 57 Channels and Nothing On. Darkness on the Edge of Town, Streets of Fire, Lost in the Flood, and The Ties That Bind are all episodes of which television show that ran between 2012 and 2019? Cover Me. The Natalie Imbruglia hit song Torn is one of the most famous songs you didn't know were covers of all time. Which language was the original version of Torn recorded in? Roll of the Dice. The winner of the 2015 Monopoly World Championships, Niccolo Falcone of Italy, used as his token the same token that was found by a Monopoly writer Phil Orbanes, who wrote the book Monopoly Money and You, to be the most popular token selected by 1 in 4 Monopoly players. Which token is the most popular in Monopoly? The Ghost of Tom Joad. In the 1940 film adaptation of John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, which famous actor plays Tom Joad? And Wrecking Ball. In the seminal television program Lip Sync Battle, Anne Hathaway, one of the alarmingly famous people the show was able to get early on, performed a lip sync of Miley Cyrus's song Wrecking Ball in one of the show's most famous moments. Who was her opponent in that episode?
All right, we have our questions. We'll be right back with our answers. All the answers are now locked in, so let's get the questions one more time and see who will be today's cream of the crop.
Okay. 57 Channels and Nothing On. Darkness on the Edge of Town, Streets of Fire, Lost in the Flood, and The Ties That Bind are all episodes of which television show that ran between 2012 and 2019?
Sounds really, really familiar, like something I might have seen, which is a pretty limited list, but we couldn't come up with anything good, so we said Breaking Bad as a hopeful guess for 30 points.
Well, I don't think that this is actually something you watch, because I'm pretty sure that this is Once Upon a Time.
No points for both teams. It was not Once Upon a Time or Breaking Bad. When Matt and Stephanie were discussing, Stephanie just actually said, do you watch the CW? This show is on the CW. This was the show Arrow, the Green Arrow TV show. So the penultimate episode of every season of Arrow, apart from one, would have a Bruce Springsteen song as its title, which obviously for those that haven't picked up on it already, they're all Bruce Springsteen songs, and all the category names are also all Bruce Springsteen songs. Question number 2 is Cover Me. The Natalie Imbruglia hit song Torn is one of the most famous songs you didn't know were covers of all time. Which language was the original version of Torn recorded in?
We just thought it might sound good in Spanish, so we said Spanish.
Yeah, and we went back and forth. We said Portuguese, and we said Dutch. We played with Spanish, but we settled on Dutch.
You're very close. It's Danish. It was the original language when it was recorded.
Food.
Yes. So yeah, very, very, very close. You were dancing
far
around.
Your safe bet strategy is paying off for you.
Paying off very
Let's see
nicely.
if that continues.
Roll of the Dice. The winner of the 2015 Monopoly World Championships, Niccolo Falcone of Italy, used as his token the same token that was found by Phil Orbanes, who wrote the book Monopoly, Money and You, to be the most popular token selected by 1 in every 4 players. Which token is the most popular in Monopoly?
I just picked the one that I like, and I said the thimble.
And we toyed with the idea of dog, because who doesn't like a dog? And then we also said car, because a lot of people pick cars. Matt likes to zip around the board, so we said car.
It is the car, the race car. That is correct. Very well done. So it's the race car. I think the dog is second. I don't think the thimble's even in the conversation. I've never seen someone say thimble.
It's a mistake, people.
If it was Oliver, it would be first.
Yes.
Always.
Question 4, the ghost of Tom Jones / Jode. In the 1940 film adaptation of John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, which famous actor plays Tom Joad?
Yep, we went with Henry Fonda.
Yeah, we were pretty sure that Neal would get this, and hearing that name, that sounds right, because we had no idea, and we went with Humphrey Bogart.
It's Henry Fonda. Very well done, Neal. Yep, Henry Fonda. They made the movie a year after the book came out. Book came out in 1939. Movie came out in 1940. And finally...
Whenever somebody's struggling for a place to stand, kid.
You see, there's something called the Great Depression, see?
And finally, Wrecking Ball. In the seminal television program Lip Sync Battle, Anne Hathaway, one of the alarmingly famous people the show was able to get early on, performed a lip sync of Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball in one of the show's most famous moments. Who was her opponent in that episode?
Wasn't too sure on this one, but I was just thinking time period and the way that movies like to market their actors, and this might have been around the time Devil Wears Prada came out, so we thought maybe it was Emily Blunt.
Yep, and Matt knew this one right away, and he said Emily Blunt.
Yes, correct answer, horrendous logic. It was about 10 years after Devil Wears Prada.
How does it work?
It's not even in the ballpark, but you were nonetheless correct. It was Emily Blunt. As she swings back on the wrecking ball, she gives Emily Blunt the finger, and if you watch the YouTube clip, which is still good, it has to be set up there with the Tom Holland one. And that's the game.
And what a game it was. So both teams going, different...
Poorly. You could say poorly.
Different strategies here, for sure. Often we see that the big bets will pay off. But this is a real close game because if I am not mistaken, it is a score of 122 to 123. Favoring the team at Puma Pants.
Oh, wow.
Queen of the crop.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
That is the closest game, probably since one of our first, 15, because I think we had a tie very early on, but... That's crazy.
It was so close, Puma Pants, that,
I need to go shower because I Puma Pants.
Bowels were released.
Well done, you guys.
Wow.
Overcoming us in the end.
I was like, wait a second. That was like, this can't be. But it is. So very well done to you. Sorry, better luck next time, Pampered Moose. Fortunately, you guys get a lot of chances to be wrong, so...
Yeah.
We'll see you
are.
next week.
We capitalized on all of them. But Stephanie, thank you for joining us. Any parting words from you? We appreciate you being on the show.
No, just thank you guys for having me on. It was awesome. I know hopefully I'll be on sometime in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd love to have you back.
And Andrew, once again, a great game presented by you. We always like having you on the show. Any parting words from you?
No, thanks very much for making the podcast and having me on. It's terrific, as anyone who listens knows. And if you would like to be deeply confused by some more quizzes, then Drew's Clues 23 on TikTok is the place to be baffled.
All right, and that'll be our show for today. We appreciate both of our guests, but we also appreciate Airwave Media, our network. So we wanted to shout out a few of their shows, such as A Mindful Moment, History Uncovered, and Movie Therapy. So perhaps check some of those out. And without further ado, that'll be it for Stephanie, Andrew, Matt, Jeff, Neal, and myself. That was Triviality.